The BBC has apologized to US President Donald Trump for a misleadingly edited clip featured in a Panorama episode but rejected his demand for compensation, saying there is no basis for a defamation claim. The apology comes shortly after the resignations of BBC's Director General Tim Davyy and new CEO Deborah Turns. The resignation came after an internal BBC dossier revealed concerns about how a Panorama documentary titled Trump A Second Chance edited clips from US President Donald Trump's January 6, 2021 speech. The edits made it appear that he told supporters he would march with them to the US Capitol to quote unquote fight like hell. The dossier was written by former journalist Michael Prescott and circulated inside the BBC. It pointed to serious editorial failures and raised additional questions about BBC Arabic's coverage of the Gaza conflict. The Telegraph managed to get a copy of the dossier and published it, triggering backlash against BBC. After the resignations and amid backlash came the apology from the BBC. In a statement that the broadcaster said its chair Samir Shaha had sent a personal letter to the White House making clear that he and the corporation were sorry for the edit. In its statement, the BBC said, and I quote, "We accept that our edit unintentionally created the impression that we were showing a single continuous section of the speech rather than excerpts from different points in the speech, and that this gave the mistaken impression that President Donald Trump had made a direct call for violent action." The BBC added that it has no plans to rebroadcast the documentary on any of its platforms. BBC, which runs on taxpayers' money, has been under immense pressure, with various critics saying that the taxpayers who fund the BBC deserve to know the truth and not some one sided propaganda. Critics of BBC also say that the job of a news broadcaster is to report facts and not build one sided narratives. Now it remains to be seen if President Trump would go ahead and file a lawsuit against the BBC. If a lawsuit is indeed filed and if BBC has to pay up to Trump, it would definitely not be a good use of taxpayer money. Let us know in comments if you really think the edit by the BBC was quote unquote unintentional as they have insisted in their apology letter.